Hey Gemini, welcome to your January 2023 reading. If this reading resonates with you, make sure you visit brattystarot.com for a personal reading with me. And if it doesn't, check your other Gemini placements. Okay, let's go ahead and check to see what Spirit wants me to tell you. So you got Aquarius energy. So Aquarius is about the liberator. This is about the 11th house as well. It can talk about big friend groups, social groups, communities, your biggest dreams, hopes, wishes, etc. Little gifts from the universe. It also talks about uniqueness, originality, philanthropy, and progressive learning. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your current energy. The Four of Cups, maybe a little bit of disappointment at the time, or you feel like the options that are available to you aren't really ones that you're keen on, I guess you could say. The World in reverse, I'm getting like a cleanup situation, like needing to go back and review something. You have the Four of Swords where you're going to be able to find clarity at this time. So I feel like with yourself, by yourself, maybe you need some alone time to figure some things out. For some potential, Eight of Cups in reverse. Once again, I feel like you're needing to go back to something, needed to reflect on something. The Page of Wands for what you need to get rid of. It could be a fire sign in your life that's just causing issues. This could also be a sense of maybe you not being as confident as you like, or you may be having an issue taking the first step in regards to something. Why is that on the screen? Did not mean for that to be on there. Thanks. All right, let's see here. We have the Seven of Cups. So this is in the placement of needing to know your lessons or what the biggest lesson is. It's like, I feel like you have a lot of options available to you. It just seems like you're not really happy with any of them, okay? Or you could maybe even possibly like the options that are available to you, but you're focused on the ones that you feel like you missed. So let's take a look at that Four of Cups. Tell me about that Four of Cups for Gemini. Okay. All righty, Gemini. So you got the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. For some of you, this could be about love, absolutely, with that Queen of Cups there. There could be something as well that you're following your intuition on. It's like, I feel like there's something that you feel isn't really going to work out, or you feel like it hasn't worked out, or it's not going to work out, etc. Because there is something that you maybe have been putting a lot of work into or fighting for a really long time. And it seems like the reason why you're getting so upset, or the reason why there's so much disappointment, is because your heart is wrapped into it with that Queen of Cups. And it's like, when we involve our emotions into something, forget about it. It's that much harder to get rid of it, or it's that much harder to detach from it. So there's almost like this sense of, I just heard that song, How Do You Make Me, how do I Make You Love Me, I think it is, by The Weeknd. I just heard that in my head. You could be feeling rejected for some of you in some way, whether that's financially, okay, whether that's from a job, etc. But you feel like there's not a lot of clarity. It's almost like you feel like you keep fighting for something, and you keep doing and doing and doing, and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere. You don't really have options available to you. So it's almost like the sense of, well, maybe I should do more in order to get more, when I feel like that's maybe not the case. And you may be concerned that you're not going to win something, or you're not going to come out on top. The World in reverse for where you need to direct your energy. Three of Cups in reverse, 10 of Cups in reverse, Six of Swords in reverse. Wowzers. Six of Cups in reverse. I knew that damn Five of Swords was going to come out. Yikes. All right. Well, you may have gave up playing some games with somebody in the past, or you may have gotten to this point where you felt like you could never win somebody's heart or win somebody over in some way. And so it kind of just made you feel like, okay, well, I'm never going to win. Like, I'm just never going to win. That's it, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't feel like this story is over. I'm kind of wondering if you need to revisit a problem, either with a family member, with a friend, or if this is about love, with love. Sorry, I know it's really hard to see. It's definitely a need to revisit something. Now, I usually wouldn't tell you to go back to the past, but I feel like the reason why you have to go back to the past is the only way that you're going to be able to do this. The only way you're going to be to accomplish what it is that you need to accomplish is by revisiting something that you feel like you lost out on. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you need to have a reconciliation with somebody or anything like that. But maybe the sense of, even if you're like looking for closure in a situation, even if you're wondering like why you're not good enough for someone or something in a situation, it's like, where is that initially coming from? right? Because, you know, it's not always about like the person. Let's say this is about love, right? It's not always about the person. It's like, well, why didn't they want me, right? Like, what is it about me? And thinking somehow it's like some reflection of you. And like maybe it is, right? We all have things that we need to improve on, but maybe that person just isn't for you, you know? And for some of you, you keep revisiting a situation in your head where people were talking crap about you, or there was some form of a betrayal, etc. And it's really not doing you any favors. And you keep trying to prove yourself in some situation, like that you're good enough for a career, that you're good enough for a person, or that you're good enough for a group of people or a community, the Aquarius energy, 11th house. When it's like, you don't need to do that. Aquarius energy is about standing out and standing in your own individuality. I heard without any repercussions. I don't know. The Four of Swords for where you could find clarity or help at this time. Free your mind, the rest will follow. I just heard that song. I have not heard that song in years. I think that's like a 90s or an 80s song. The Knight of Pentacles and the Justice. Okay. So in due time is also what I heard. A lot of you just need to focus on your work, in your finances, your practical, mundane, day-to-day, focus on building whatever it is and perfecting what it is that you've been trying to perfect. I don't really feel like love is on the plate right now, or love is on the agenda. All right. I'm only saying that with the Knight of Cups in reverse, but for some of you, you're having some form of creative blocks, but you're too focused on like these people or what these people said, or that this person didn't want you, or whatever the case may be, that you can't focus on other things, or you're just trying to prove yourself in some situation where it's like, do you even really want that? Or are you just doing something to prove a point, you know? And this is a sense of you needing to kind of free your mind and relax and allow yourself to release some of these issues that you've been having, because it's causing a creative block, and you need some kind of like, I heard solace. Is that how you say it? Solace? Whatever. You need some peace, which is going to give you some peace of mind, because it's causing whatever creative block that is. Tell me about that Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's that thing that you keep holding on to the past that's causing some kind of creative block, when instead what you need to do is allow it to work for you. Allow yourself to use that as fuel for something. 8 of Cups in reverse for any hidden potential that you may or may not be aware of. So once again, that 8 of Cups, I mean that back in the past stuff. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You really need to ask yourself why it is that you wanted something, really. 5 of Cups, the Devil in reverse. Okay. You have been carrying a weight for some time, and this could be reversed for some of you, but you've been carrying a weight for some time that's really screwing up your creative blocks, that's making you feel like you can't do anything because you keep trying to prove yourself in some way, and it's because your ego is involved. And that's okay. We all have an ego. We're supposed to have an ego. It's our will. It's our will to live. It's our drive. It's why we get up and go to the gym, and why we get up and go to work, and why we get, so we can have all these little knickknacks and whatever else the case is. But it's something that you felt like was owed to you, or you felt like you should have got it and you didn't. And there's this sense of not really focusing on why you didn't, or why this person rejected you, or why it didn't work out with so-and-so, or whatever the case is, and look at it as to why it really bothers you. What is the root of it? I'm not talking about what they did to you. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you. Like, let's say, for instance, that you had a person that was just not good for you, right? Because this happened to me, right? Okay, so for instance, I was dating this guy for a while, right? And then I ended up breaking things off with him because he just wasn't stepping it up in the way that I wanted him to. And then later on, I was like, and he was like, well, whatever, he dipped out on me. He didn't ask for me back, like nothing like that. And I just wanted him back because I wanted to prove to myself that I could. Well, where is that coming from, right? It's coming from a place of insecurity. Well, where does that insecurity come from? And you have to kind of go back, because once you do, you'll be able to have this fantastic load off instead of making things hard on yourself by focusing on the wrong thing. Page of Wands for what you need to get rid of here. You're better than that, honey, and you know it. Page of Cups in reverse, Page of Swords, Page of Wands. You know, if it is that, I mean, you got the Page of Wands, the Empress, the Five of Pentacles, and the Strength card. Like I said, for some of you, you need to focus on your balance. For some of you, or you need to focus on your finances and balancing your finances. For others of you, you keep associating yourself with ain't shit people. And what I mean by ain't shit people, okay, listen, we're all on their own path. This is just how I talk, okay? But you're focused on people that, you know, maybe they live in their mom's freaking basement. And you're like, oh, Jeremy doesn't like me. Jeremy that lives in his mother's basement and doesn't have a job. And he picks his nose and he eats it. What? And it's like, why do you care when this is who you are? Like, for some of you just need to realize who you are and stop crying, you know, and sorry if that hurts your feelings, but sometimes we need to get our feelings hurt so that way we can become who we're meant to be. Sometimes we need to get broken down a little bit so we can rebuild ourselves. Because we realize that what we have built ourselves around is crap in some cases. And it could be a sense of you needing to let go of an old identity or who you thought you were supposed to be with, or who you thought you were supposed to be. When we change and we evolve, and you have to stop attaching yourself to these people that are not even at the same vibration as you. And it's like, why do you keep bringing yourself down there? And then it's like feeling sorry for yourself when it's like you're the Empress and you're worried about a page. Why? You know? Seven of Cups for the lesson. Seven of Swords in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Why is it that you want something? Why is it that you want something? Is it for ego? Ten of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes talk about, oh, we're just staying in a relationship because it makes us look good. Or we're just staying at a job because it makes us look cool and we can say that, you know, we work on Wall Street, or when it's not really authentically who we are. And it's like, it's time for you to stop taking a back seat and really get clear on what it is that you want. Because for some of you, truly, you have been wearing rose-colored glasses in regards to like a career, or in regards to somebody that you may have wanted, or even in regards to a group of friends. When it's like, because you wanted it to be that, or because your ego was attached to it, or because you were trauma bonded with somebody, or whatever it is. And now because you ignored red flags about a situation, or you tried to over idolize a person or a career or whatever the case, and then later on you find out, oh, wow, they were full of crap, just like my gut was trying to tell me in the long run, but I stuck around because they look good on my arm, or I stuck around because it gave me social status or whatever, when it actually had nothing to do with the authentic you. And so this is about you not fitting in. This is about you standing out. Jesus Christ. You know what happened to me when I was like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, right? So for real, like, just hear me out. So I was kind of like, I don't want to say I was a loser, but I was kind of like very offstandish. I was a lone wolf. I didn't really talk to anybody. I was very awkward. I was very quiet, but for somehow, some way, I always stood out to people, or people always picked me out of a crowd, or they would find me. And then, so the popular girls somehow just found me and they just attached themselves to me, but I would hide behind them. I would hide behind them because they were the popular girls. And I just felt like I could fit in some way. And like, I had somewhere to be, I had somewhere to fit in. And then I ended up, my friends ended up going into high school because I was a grade under, because I got held back, right? Because all I wanted to do was go write stories at the library. So I kept skipping school. Anyway, long story short. So I got sent back a grade. And so when it was time for me to get into 8th grade and all my friends to go into freshman year, I was by myself. I didn't have my friends to hide behind. I didn't have anybody to, you know, be in the front line for me. It was just me. And literally, that was the year where I became the most popular person in school. I ended up getting most dramatic and ended up getting best friend in the yearbook. Okay, voted best friend and most dramatic. People were literally wearing what I was wearing. They were saying my sayings. And sometimes it's not about how we can fit in, but it's how we can stand out. And sometimes you got to stop attaching yourself to these outcomes of people when you don't even belong there in the first place. It's like maybe you were made to lead that pack of people, not follow them or prove to them or prove to this person as to why you belong there. Let's take a look at that Aquarian energy for what Spirit wants me to tell you. The Knight of Swords in reverse. The Star, Aquarius energy again. Listen, I don't know where Aquarius is in your chart. And the Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hierophant in reverse. You need to stay true to you is what it really is. You really need to stay true to yourself and not be focused on how you can mend, bend, or break to fit somebody else's narrative or who you should be. And this is about you not just following somebody else's lead. The Knight of Swords in reverse is somebody who is a follower. He's a follower. And this is double Aquarius energy. That's not who you're supposed to be. You were born to be some kind of leader of some sort, or you were born to stand out. That's what's going to make you feel balanced. That's what's going to make you feel balanced. Sigma. Aquarius reminds me of Sigma, of a Sigma. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. Gemini, it was an absolute pleasure to read your cards. If this reading resonated for you and you'd like to book a personal reading with me, brattystarot.com is where it's at. You can also find that in the description box below. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and please subscribe if you have not. And also, if you'd like to follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, or anything else, just look on the screen because my socials will be listed there. And I love you. And happy 2023, baby. Bye.